Yes, yes. Like it was times I was writing my poems, like I would stop and just cry because, like I said, while writing, I would feel those feelings because it's like I'm reliving it. So it was times I had to like stop and just I stopped, I cried because I was feeling the feelings again, but I got back to it.
Yeah. I lay on the scale, you gotta glow, you gotta glow. She had my attention, she gotta know. I'd like to welcome everyone to another episode of the Let's Get Podcast. I'm your host Zeke, and in this episode, I have Ashley Evans to speak about her book, Unpolished Diamond. You can find her book by clicking the link in the description below. I live for content warning for any strong language used in this episode, and hope you have a nice day and enjoy the show. Thank you for joining the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. So, the first question I'd like to ask is, what would your origin story be, and how would you like to represent it?
Can you repeat that?
What would your origin story be, and how would you like to represent it?
How would I like to represent it?
Yeah, like what medium would you use? Like, would you write another book? Would you make a movie?
Oh yeah, I'm actually working on my second book. It's called my second book is going to be called 10 Ways to Boss Up After a Setback, and I'm actually thinking about like starting a documentary soon, like about my life, because I'm a person that been through a lot, and I feel like a lot of people out there would be able to relate with the things I've been through, and I have a story to share with others.
Got it. Got it. And what would you say is your origin story, if you want to get into it now?
Can you repeat that?
What would you say is your origin story?
The origin of the story?
Yeah, of your story.
Oh, about the things I've been through?
Yeah, or you as a person and everything.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna just give you guys a little background about myself. I'm from New Orleans. Um, I'm 32 years old, and I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot of life struggles, challenges. I've been through a lot of trauma, and that's really what motivated me to write my book. Everything that I've been through in life. Um, it's poetry. It's a collection of poetry, and I actually, while I was writing my poetry, I was still going through so much, like just going through just battles and storms, and having to deal with toxic family, toxic relationships. And while I was going through these things, I felt like the most healthiest way for me to express myself was writing, because I never had anybody to talk to or to vent to. So that's how my book came along.
Nice, nice. And with that, we can get into writing to your book. So you said how writing was like the thing that was helping you get through it. What kind of led you to like discovering writing?
When I was younger, I started writing in the second grade, like the first grade, the second grade, and third grade. I actually I won first place in a Reading Rainbow writing contest um, for writing a short story, and I always had a passion for it. Like I said, I started writing really young. I always kept a journal. I like journaling. I still journal to this day. And I always used to write short stories. Always, I love reading. And it kind of went hand in hand, like loving to read and write. And my writing journey started when I was younger. It's something I always love to do.
And when you write, what kind of goes through your mind? Like what's like the process of it?
Um, just getting my feelings out onto paper, and I get lost into it. Like I go through the motions of feeling how I felt at that time. Rather, I felt sad, depressed, happy. Felt like I was overcoming something I was going through. Is I always the feelings I felt, I just transferred it into my poetry. And I felt a lot of feelings, like reading my poetry book, the reader would, I feel like, relate and they would go through the same feelings I went through. Like I said, being sad, depressed, feeling lonely, feeling like the black sheep of the family, at times feeling unworthy, feeling unloved. And as I was going through the things I was going through in my life, I turned it into something beautiful.
Nice, nice. And with that, would your reader be expecting more of like descriptive writing where they have to kind of sift through it, or is it be like more direct?
Just doing it, just writing. Um, when I started writing my first book, when I was writing my poetry, at first I didn't think about turning it into a book. I actually was incarcerated about 4 years ago, and that's when I was writing a lot of poems. And I actually met this girl. Her name was Danielle, and I shared a lot of my poetry with her. And she used to always tell me, like, Ashley, you need to write a book. Like, this is so good. Like, you have to put a book together. And it's that I got a poem. It's called D46. It's dedicated to Danielle. And it's sad to say that she passed away. And that's why I dedicated my book to her as well, because I feel like she believed in me. At that time, she believed in me more than I believed in myself. And she pushed me. Like even when I couldn't see any greatness, she seen it before I did. And um, rest in peace to her. She's not here anymore, but she was a big motivation and inspiration for me writing.
So it's good to have those people in our life.
Yes.
And then with that, with the book, so she's like one of the people who push you to the book. So is what also why do you also wanted to like have people read it and like help them get through it? Like what kind of leads you to that part of writing? If that makes sense.
Because I want people, like, the motivations really for my readers. I want people to know that if they're going through any life struggles, any life challenges, that they're not alone, that it's people out here like myself that's been through that. That's why I wrote the book, because I want people to be able to express themselves. Because I know a lot of people, they hold in their feelings, they hold in what they've been through. They don't want to share their story because of fear of being judged by others. And I just want to set the tone and try and be that person, take the initiative to show these people that you don't have to be scared. Somebody needs to hear your story, just like I know it's people that need to hear my story. Like just to be comfortable with expressing themselves without the fear of being judged, because we all have been through things in our life.
Got it, got it. And to be so vulnerable, what was like that key to unlock the vulnerability to let people see your story?
Can you repeat that, please?
What kind of it's very vulnerable to write about your story and have people read it.
Mm-hmm.
So like what kind of like what's allowing you to do that?
Yeah, it's crazy you say that, because I wasn't always this vulnerable. I always had a fear of being judged, and what broke me out of that is like sort of what I just said. Like I thought to myself, like I'm sure somebody has to be going through what I'm going through. I'm sure I could help somebody with my story. Because I didn't have encouragement or support or that motivation. And that's what my book is about. And I'm like, I want to be a beacon of light to people that have been through what I've been through. So that's what broke me out of that vulnerability, just wanting to spread my light to others and to share my story to possibly heal others and just get people because some of us as people, we like to hide our feelings. I want people to know that it's okay to get it out. It's because it's not healthy to harbor and like resentment, hate, fear. You have to let it, you got to let it flow and let it go. And that's what I wanted. That's what made me jump out of that fear is my passion to want to help others.
Gotta be like that. Be like the person you needed in that moment.
Yes.
Can definitely understand that. And then the vulnerability. So when you was writing the book and going through everything, did you? So it was it like a feeling of relief when you was writing it?
Yeah, it was actually like it felt good to because I feel like once you write and you get it out on paper, you getting it out of like your system, like you transferring it. So yeah, it felt real good to be able to put it on paper and also too like to reflect and see how far I came.
Nice, nice, definitely. And then now you have plans to like write another book about your story and do a documentary. Is there like an entrepreneurship goal, like entrepreneurship right to it, or is it all purely just helping others?
It's a mixture of both. It's like I feel like my part of my purpose is to help others, and it's also a goal. It's a goal as well, but I feel like it's more of my passion because it's something I really like to do. I really like helping others. I like giving people advice, especially on things that I've been through. I feel like I said, I've been through a lot. So like it's funny you brought up goals because one of my goals I actually want to mentor young girls because I know it's a lot of I was a troubled teen myself. I had a troubled childhood, and I'm sure it's a lot of teenagers that went through what I went through. So that's being a mentor. That's one of my goals, and like with my documentary, uh, that's a goal. That's like going to be my third book, a documentary about my life. But I also want it to be like a movie. Like I want to make a movie out of my life because my life really was a movie. Like I could really say that.
Gotta get that fire director and cinematographer, make sure everything.
Yeah.
Right. And then you self-published, right?
Yes.
So what was the journey of learning how to publish a book?
It just took me researching. That's actually what I did. I was research. I would write. Well, actually, watch videos on YouTube and just get information from others. I would seek out other self-published authors, and just I came up with my information I needed, and I made it a goal to self-publish my book, and that's what I did. I self-published through Amazon Publishing. It's a platform for self-published authors, like for them to publish on their platform, and it was a big help. And the information that I was researching, it led me there, and it helped me a lot to self-publish. And I do look forward to at this time. I don't. I'm not gonna self-publish other people work because I'm still working on myself. But as I get bigger, I do plan on helping other people self-publish as well.
It's like this one book opened up a bunch of different avenues for you.
Yes, yes,
Help yourself or help others.
yes.
Yeah. Sure. Cool. And so when like in terms of like writing, what are things that people should think about when they're writing?
Um, just whatever the feeling is. Like I feel like whatever you feel like you need to let go, basically. Like whatever that feeling is that you need to let go. And but like writing too, I want to add, it always makes me feel therapeutic. Like it makes me feel like I'm releasing anxiety, I'm releasing stress, and it's a good tool. It's I would suggest others to write. Like instead of getting upset and angry and just uh, wasting your energy on things that's going to lower your vibration, I would just tell people just to put it on paper because you could possibly create something beautiful with it. You never know.
Definitely. It's like that one step and then you never and then it just becomes the new roadmap for your life.
Exactly.
So when you was younger, let's go all the way back to when you were younger writing and you won like the competition and everything. So
Hmm.
did you was it like something like you was like, I like this, I'm good at this, and then over time other things just came in? Or was like it was something that was always there?
It was always there. Like I feel like it's a gift because I started writing so young. Like I was young and second grade, writing stories. And my teachers, they always told my mom like how advanced of a writer I was for my age. And I just feel like it always been with me, but as I've grown older, I feel like my writing got better, but even even like taking breaks from writing, like it was time I took years from writing, but when I picked back up, it was like I never left.
Like you found that gift that everybody like that talent everybody has kind of early,
Yes,
and then later on in life, it came somebody else came back in life was like, do it.
yes.
Nice. And since like the journey of first writing and then now publishing a book, how have you feel like yourself changed over like through that time?
I feel like I gained more knowledge. I feel like I learned more. I feel like uh, I could explain my experiences better. I could relate a message better to others, more clear for others. I feel like, yeah, it just gave me more wisdom and knowledge and just looking at things from a different perspective.
Cool. It's more just like time like I don't know. It's like time in the gym. Like you getting better as a person.
Yes, yes.
And what from like writing the first book, or you like what lessons are you gonna take to writing your second book?
Just like consistency to continue well, first too, to continue to have that realness and continue to be transparent and honest for my audience, and then consistent and upfront. Because I feel like when you writing, especially when you writing like about your life and poetry, I feel like it's important to be transparent and be honest. Like I'm literally an open book. Like I I'm honest about the things I went through. I'm really not ashamed of anything I've been through. I'm honest, and I feel like that's important. And I feel like from my first book to my second book, that's what I wanna transfer over. Just continue to be real, raw, and transparent, and to continue to be open with my audience.
Nice. And then were there any times when you were writing where like it was too personal, it was like too real, you had to pull back?
Yes, yes. Like it was times I was writing my poems, like I would stop and just cry because, like I said, while writing, I would feel those feelings because it's like I'm reliving it. So yeah, it was times I had to like stop and just I stopped, I cried because I was feeling the feelings again. But I got back to it. It was actually a time too. I took about a couple of months off of writing because I felt like it was getting really intense. But that's a fear that's something I had to face. Like if I have to relive it, that's what I have to do. But I have to be comfortable with that because I want to share my story.
Yeah, definitely. And at those times, how did you like get through? You just kind of just like took the second and was like, okay, okay. Like you said, you took a 4 month break. Like, okay, now it's time to reset and come back to it. Got it.
Yeah, yeah. I just it was hard at first, but I told myself if this is something I want to do, it's a goal. So I gotta suck it up. And I had to come to terms that it's okay to relive the feelings because you gotta go through the feelings in order to let it go. Like instead of ignoring the feelings, I went through it and then I let it go. And it was like magic or something because I felt so much lighter and so much better.
Cool. And I'm just seeing like different avenues and how things are coming, and then like each step is just another building block for the next.
Yes.
And then with like the mentoring and everything, since you have like a way of you kind of already what you call it, what out your story and everything, you're gonna have like a blueprint of how to tell it and have people relate to you.
Yes. Well, like with the mentor, like okay, so with the mentoring and like with helping the younger girls, like I really don't how I plan to approach that situation is just to be upfront and honest and just uh, to be open and supportive and understanding of what those girls are going through, and to let them know that I too also been through those things, and I'm here like to help them, and because I want to help guide younger girls to become the best version of themselves because everybody has it in them to be the best part of themselves. Sometimes we need the guidance, we need the support, we need the counsel. And I know I never had that. So I know it's girls out here that's going through the same thing. They probably don't have that support. That's why I want to step in and like I really plan on just having a big organization helping people. Like I really love to help people that been through what I've been through. Even if it's things that's different. Like I feel like it's all the same because we all been through the same feeling and experienced the same hurt.
Definitely, definitely. Just what about the book, the movie, and everything.
Hmm.
What's next? Okay. And then for the book? You say you was younger, you wrote like stories. Why did you choose poems and not like a long form of writing, like a story?
That's a good question. Um, Cause like honestly, I always was good at making words rhyme. Like I always was good at putting words together, like making them rhyme. And it's crazy because I remember, I can't verbatim remember the first poem I wrote, but I remember like when I first started writing the poetry, I was like, wow, like I put words together so good. So I think it was just the fact that I I was good at it. Like I was like, wow, this is nice. Like I was just good at it.
It's that like, it's just like one of the things again, like life was like, here it is, and then he was like, got it.
Yep. We went right with the flow.
They say things find you when you need, like when you, I guess, not looking for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
Cool. And you also able to ask me questions. If you have any questions
Do I have any questions for you?
or anything? Yeah, you can also ask questions. Just want to make that clear.
Okay.
What else? And then I think I don't have any more questions, but I want to ask one last thing, and that would be, what would you name your origin story? Unless you want to hide it because you're writing the next book.
Can you repeat that?
What would you name your origin story? Unless you could hide it, unless you write, unless it's like the name of your next book.
Yeah. The name of my next book is called 10. It will be completed in my estimated date is about a year from now.
Mhm.
And it's called 10 Ways to Boss Up After a Setback. And in that book, I just give 10 steps, like 10 tips to um like to get on your feet like after a setback. And I feel like a lot of people would be able to relate to it. And I feel like it kind of coincides with my poetry book because my poetry book is just expressing like the setbacks, like everything that I went through, the challenges, the trauma, the pain, the drama, everything. And I feel like it coincides with the second book because the first book is about the drama, the pain, and the struggles. And then the second book is about steps on getting out of that. So, yeah, I just now noticed how that coincides with each other.
Like you took one step, and then now, okay, after step one, here's step two.
Yep.
Cool. And I just remember one thing before we end. Why did you name your poetry book Unpolished Diamond?
Um, because I always, like I said earlier in the beginning, I've always felt like I was the black sheep of my family. And honestly, I still feel that way. But I always knew no matter all the pain and the struggling I had been through in my life and all the trauma, I always knew it was something special about me. And I always knew, like, even though I was treated differently and like from my siblings, and it's crazy, I always was treated differently, like the black sheep. But deep inside my soul, I always knew like I'm something special about me. And that's what like would cause me to name my book that because I did feel like the unpolished diamond. I always knew I was the diamond, but I was unpolished at that time.
Nice. Everything everything all ties together.
Yes.
So I want to thank you again for joining the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. And this, I want to tell everybody where you get the book and where they can find you.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. My name on Facebook is Ashley Evans. You guys can, my book is on Amazon as well. You could just type it. You can read it for free on Kindle. And you also can inbox me directly because I keep copies and I can ship them out. I would say, though, the best way, if anybody is ever interested, is to contact me and I'll even autograph it for you guys.
Nice. Well, again, thank you for joining the podcast.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
You're welcome.
Enjoy the rest of your evening.
You too.
That brings another episode of the Let's Get Podcast to a close. Again, you can find Unpolished Diamond by clicking the link in the description below. This is the last episode for season 6. You can find out my next plans by checking out the end of the year episode, which also premiered today. Hope you enjoy your next day, and I hope to see you there.